He got clapped. What it do, ski? It's your boy, Failey McWhaley, and today I'm here with my reaction video to Avatar: The Last Airbender. This one is Season 1, Episode 11, and Season 1, Episode 12. Last episode, we met Jet. We learned a little bit more about his character and that he was willing to body the village for his task of defeating the Fire Nation at any costs. And something that stood out to me last episode had to have been Sokka's development. I'm glad that he sort of got a little bit more shine than normal. Anyway, with that being said, let's just dive into Episode 11 and 12, y'all. So as always, if you enjoyed this one, then definitely be sure to smack that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And of course, y'all, as always, links in the description down below for the extras. But with that being said, let's get into this one. Yeet. Alright, this one is called The Great Divide.
Sokka, you're supposed to put the tarp on top of the tent. But what if it does rain?
What if it doesn't? Katara, why don't you worry about gathering the firewood? Because that kindling's looking pretty sorry. If you're not gonna do your job...
Guys, let's just,
okay, I get the grub if you guys got the... Where's the campfire? Harsh words won't solve problems. Action will. You see that?
Look at him.
Settling feuds and making peace. All in a day's work for the Avatar.
You head ass.
Come on, Momo, that's fair.
It is a fair amount of food for his body.
There it is, guys.
This is the largest canyon in the entire world.
Hey, if you're looking for the canyon guide, I was here first.
You're a refugee.
Huh, tell me something I don't know. That's the Zhang tribe. They've been the enemies of my tribe for 100 years. But they sent me ahead of them to hold a spot.
I didn't know the canyon guide took reservations.
So unorganized and ill-prepared for a journey.
A lot of hate here.
Who's ready to cross this here canyon?
One of them, I think.
I can't guide people who aren't here.
Tomorrow.
That's facts.
Wait, here they come.
You're not seriously gonna cave into these spoiled Ganjins?
Well, if you weren't such slobs.
Yo, you're talking all that good egg.
This is the Avatar.
Really busting out that Avatar card every chance we get, eh?
Absolutely not. We'd rather be taken by the Fire Nation than travel with those stinking thieves.
Appa here will fly your sick and elderly across.
All right.
Sorry, Appa. You'll have to do this on your own.
Making peace between people is his job.
His job's gonna make us cross this whole thing on foot, isn't it?
Exactly.
Now comes the bad news. No food! This is ridiculous! Oh,
You're just gonna get them more riled up when they don't like each other.
Food.
Nice bending.
Folks want information. This canyon was most likely carved into the ground by earth spirits who were angry.
True.
We'll be safe now.
Clutch.
We gotta help him!
Let's go, Aang.
Your arms, they're broken.
But without my arms,
We're trapped in this canyon.
Zoinks. Damn. If you don't have, I feel like earthbending has a lot to do with your feet too, though.
Sticking together is the only way to...
I'm not walking another step with the likes of them.
no bending canyon.
He's losing a grip.
I won't become.
See? We're going to become part of the food chain because of you.
That's pretty funny.
Like you all.
We should
And
split
all you
up.
can do is try your best.
Ganjin's on this side and Zhang's on that side. See if you can find out why they hate each other so much.
Probably runs deep, man. That's one thing. They are taking their time with the world building, and we're like seeing smaller tribes, and I'm sure they're all going to connect later down the line, or maybe not. It just gives you a better idea of the world and just how properly the Fire Nation's
So
been
you guys aren't gonna put up your tarps?
messing up
It's the
everyone.
dry season.
You really think it'll rain?
No, but you can never be too careful, right?
These are my kind of people. My brother doesn't get it. Yo, but they snuck the food.
Would you care for some bread, Katara?
I guess it's okay if everyone's doing it.
But it's not
I bet you would enjoy hearing some history.
exposition. This is a very topical episode, actually.
The Jin Wei was an earthbender warrior from the east to the west, represents the sun. It was
Okay.
our tribe's ancient redemption.
Guy kept composure that entire
But as he
time.
approached the gate, a vermin named Wei Jin, who looked at the orb with envy. That coward Wei Jin knocked Jin Wei to the ground. You can never trust a Zhang.
Well, let's hear their perspective, right? Now Qatar's about to be persuaded.
Care for some meat?
Would I?
Okay, they did bring food.
They probably assumed we brought food in and decided to bring food in themselves. That's why we brought food in. Our forefather, Wei Jin, was leaving the western gate of our village when he saw in the distance. Wei Jin tried to tend to the man's wounds, but Jin Wei insisted the orb was more important. Kind Wei Jin promised to send help for the man as soon as he could. Instead of thanking him for his kind and selfless deed, they sentenced him to 20 long years in prison.
It's lonely, isn't it? Being impartial.
I wish I could help these people get along, but it just seems impossible.
You got this, Aang.
All clear. We're almost to the other side.
Will these people cooperate long enough to get out of the canyon?
He was returning it to their village gate and was wrongfully punished by the Ganjin.
Please, everyone.
Why, you dirty thief!
You pompous
Oh,
fool!
we're popping off here, guys.
Harsh words won't solve problems. Action will.
Perhaps the Avatar is right.
He's like,
Harsh
thank you
words
so much.
will never solve our problems.
Guys, both sides are capping. What's the truth? Okay? It's miscommunication. Oh, we're going in. I'm amped to see Aang pop off because he's already going in these first few episodes. Unintentionally.
Food? So hungry. Is that big?
Okay, that okay, that could be a good emote. That boy jumped. Let's go.
Everybody, watch me do what I do.
Gotta yeet the meat.
We're riding out of this hole. Everyone, get off!
Good shit, Aang. Oof.
I never thought a Ganjin could get his hands dirty like that.
Perhaps we're not so different after all.
Too bad we can't rewrite history. You thieves stole our sacred orb from Jin Wei.
I know those guys.
Yes, yes, we're all aware of the story.
I mean, I really knew them. I might not look.
Oh, those are your mans?
I was there 100 years ago on the
So
day
he
you're
was there
talking
to
about.
say what happened. What a
There seems
coincidence.
to be. They were brothers. Twins, in fact. And most importantly, they were just playing a game. Jinwei had the ball and was running toward the goal when he fell and fumbled it. He picked it up and started running it back toward the other goal, but he stepped out of bounds. So the official put him in the penalty box. There was no stealing and no putting anyone in prison.
You're saying the sacred orb was actually a sacred ball?
Just a regular ball. As soon as
Redemption
someone
ball.
got the ball from one goal to the other, everyone would yell, "Redemption!" But they respected each other's differences enough to share the same playing field.
It's a neat way to go about it, but I mean, it's like, damn, our beliefs have been based on that.
Good to
Fuck.
see you,
The
boy.
way we've been treating
Did
each
you
other.
miss me?
Let us travel to the Earth Kingdom capital as one tribe.
That's some luck you knew Jin Wei and Wei Jin.
You could call it luck, or you could
Cap.
call it lying.
Yo, the man was capping.
You
Yeah, it was
did
too
not.
neat. More like the Capitar. All right, this one is called the Storm. We got out of the canyon. Now we're facing the storm. My man's is lifted. We have like a daydream nightmare.
We need you, Aang.
I need you too. Be careful, guys! Gyatso?
Why did you disappear?
I didn't mean to.
We need you, Aang.
I'm okay.
You seem to be having a lot of nightmares lately.
Poor guy.
Should be some smooth flying.
This was in my dream. We shouldn't go to the market.
What happened in your dream?
Why? Let's follow his
These
intuition.
people.
Ah, the Fire Nation.
There is a storm coming. A big one.
The weather's perfect. There's not a cloud in sight.
I suggest we alter our course and head southwest. Prince Zuko, consider the safety of the crew.
The safety of the crew doesn't matter.
He doesn't give a damn.
He doesn't mean that. He's just all worked up.
Be careful, man. If the crew hears that kind of shit, they might, talk,
I'm telling you.
dip the ship, and
I
it's
don't know
just
if
you
I like
and
the
your
sound
uncle.
of that swishing.
Out of food and out of money. Now what are we supposed to do?
There's going to be a terrible storm.
Ah, you're crazy. It's a nice day.
I'll go.
You're hired.
You said get a job. And he's paying double.
Double? Who told you that nonsense?
Here's the storm.
You'd better learn some respect. Or I will teach it to you.
What do you know about respect?
Oh shit! Here we go.
Deemed Uncle
Yes.
shows you know nothing about respect. You don't care about anyone but yourself.
Here we go.
See now.
He called them out. These are fighting words. Yep. That's sick.
I don't need your help keeping order on my ship.
Think about it. Like, this is just a side quest, too. This is, like, their job is to obviously serve the Fire Nation, follow the orders of their captain. But this isn't a part of the quest. They're going out of the orders to follow Aang, right? So, you should be treating them a little bit better, buddy.
Sokka, maybe
I'm waiting
this
for him to
isn't such
get
a good
really
idea.
clapped.
Look at the sky.
I can't back out just because of some bad weather.
Boy with tattoos. Airbender tattoos. You're the Avatar, ain't you?
That's right.
You turned your back on the world.
Oh, shit.
Don't yell at him.
Then I guess I must have imagined the last 100 years of war and suffering.
He has done nothing but help people and save lives since I met him.
Oh,
It's
no.
not his fault he disappeared, right, Aang?
Damn. Aang evaded his feelings.
Keep flying.
See, that's...
Yes.
I think that's one of the most real elements of the show so far. Like, that's some tense things he has to deal with and come to terms with.
I know.
He's got to learn to deal with it. Pathetic fallacy.
I'm sorry for running away.
That fisherman was way out of line.
He wasn't.
What do you mean?
I don't want to talk about it.
It has to do with your dream, doesn't it?
I'll never forget the day the monks told me I was the Avatar.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
First, you form the ball.
So you're going to want to make a Rasengan. Then, you're going to want to ride it.
Where'd you learn that trick, Aang? I made it up. Wow!
We need to speak with you.
This guy's got the double beard going on.
We have known you were the Avatar for some time.
Those were some of my favorite toys when I was little.
The toys you picked were the 4 Avatar relics.
Really?
Your own past lives.
I just chose them because they seemed fun.
You chose them
destiny.
because they were familiar.
I fear that war may be upon us, young Avatar.
We need you, Aang.
Shit. That was his first time hearing it. Getting recruited.
Tired of chasing his
It's a
avatar.
mutiny.
Who does Zuko think he is?
Yeah! Who is this guy? Oh, we're going to learn about
It's
now his
okay.
story with his father. So we're going to feel
join
sympathetic
you?
for him.
Of course, sir.
Try to understand. My nephew is a complicated young man. You're not missing anything. Trust me.
If I'm gonna rule this nation one day, don't you think I need to start learning as much as I can?
But you must promise not to speak. These old folks are a bit sensitive, you know.
Thank you, Uncle.
No. This is before the scar.
So I am recommending the 41st Division.
But the 41st is entirely new recruits.
They'll be used as a distraction while we mount an attack from the rear.
You can't sacrifice an entire division like that. Those soldiers love and defend our nation.
Zuko was right, you see. But it was not his place to speak out. And
So you were upset that you were the Avatar?
Everything began changing.
People started treating you differently. Too busy training.
Game you can play with the air scooter.
Advantage for whichever team you're on.
But I'm still the same.
You had to grow up quick.
Okay, now who wants to have
That's why
Jinju
he's
on their
very,
team?
so he's very childlike too, right? He just wants to relive his youth a little bit more because he didn't get to with his friends.
Very interesting.
The Avatar should be training. I must test you on some high-level techniques.
I will decide when he
Yo,
trains. And
that's his watcher. Little Buffy reference. Aang is Buffy, kind of, yeah.
after Zuko's outburst, he turned to face his opponent. By doing so in the Fire Lord's war room, it was the Fire Lord to his own father.
He got clapped.
Starting to feel better.
That was a clapping. Fuck.
The monks sent you away like that.
That's not exactly what happened.
Oh, he popped off.
I didn't know what to do.
Hey,
Oh, he cut.
I'm not going to let them take you away from me.
I never saw Gyatso again.
Oh, this is. Oh, fuck. And that's when he. Oh, shit.
Next thing I knew, I was waking up in your arms after you found me in the iceberg. And then the Fire Nation attacked our temple.
I only had the Fire Nation's best interest at heart.
You will fight for your honor
I am your loyal son.
and fight Prince Zuko. Learn
Oh,
respect
my.
and suffering with
I always thought that Prince Zuko was in a training accident.
It was an
After
example.
the duel,
Then he got banished. He got the double bubble.
the Avatar.
So that's why he's so obsessed. Captain?
Where's Sokka?
They haven't returned.
He's not gonna
Going
stand
to
by
find
this
them.
time.
I'm going with you.
I'm staying here.
Look!
The helmsman!
Was that intentional? Did he channel the lightning? Did I miss that, or
Where are they?
was that supposed to be like a funny joke? Him getting shot by lightning? Because that was sick if it was.
Come on
Was it bending that somehow?
The Avatar!
What do you want to do, sir?
Let him go. We need to get this ship to safety. I'm too young to die.
I'm not, but I still don't wanna.
That's a big boy. Don't sleep this time, Aang. You got the fam. You got your objectives. Get it together.
I'm sorry.
Your apology is accepted.
They lock eyes.
Katara, I think you were right before. I'm done dwelling on the past.
Gotta keep
I'm
moving
here
forward.
now and I'm going to make the most of it.
I don't think you're gonna have those nightmares anymore.
Thank you for saving my life, Avatar.
Do you hear that? It stopped raining.
This is a solid episode. I really like that one. That was my reaction video to Avatar: The Last Airbender. This one was season 1, episode 11, and season 1, episode 12. So the first one that I'm going to talk about was the Great Divide, and we had two different factions having to go through this canyon together who absolutely hated each other for, I guess, generations. And Aang, Katara, and Sokka had to sort of get them through this canyon together. And you know what, honestly, like, I get what they're trying to do, you know, these two, you know, miscommunication, the past, two factions who've historically hated each other. I don't know, like, I get what they were doing, but I think it was sort of poorly executed in my opinion here. It was Katara and Katara and Sokka fighting over this small fight about the tents. I just didn't feel like there was all too much that we really got out of this episode, other than, you know, there's two sides to each story. But the fact that Aang just lied at the end and there's nothing true about it at all just made this episode just feel a slightly dull and just unimportant in the larger scope, unless they do come back to both those camps and they have some relevant information, they come back to some capacity. World building, I guess, and just getting to see more different other groups in this world. Great Divide, not all too great, even though it's in the name, especially for a storyline that it's like, you know, these people for, you know, 100 years or so have had a serious divide between each other that, you know, has caused pain and suffering and, you know, a lot of trauma, I'd imagine, for it to just sort of be diffused at the end of this episode after like hearing both of the sides of the story. I thought they could have went somewhere a little bit different with it. So I think in the end, for me at least, this episode just sort of fell flat. Though I do think that the artwork for the respective tellings of the story were actually pretty nice, and I could appreciate them showing both sides of the story. But in the end, the resolution just didn't land for me. That being said, though, episode 12 here, The Storm, I thought was fantastic and probably one of the best episodes of the show thus far. Things that I really did enjoy here, pretty much the entirety of the episode here. We get to learn a lot about, you know, Zuko's character. Come across as a head ass, but, you know, now I can feel for him a little bit more than I did previously. Oh, he seemed in his flashback to care for his people, to care for his nation a little bit more, and to even step up in that war room here. And I feel terrible for his uncle now, because you can understand a little bit more why he feels the need to, obviously, other than the family relations, to protect him and to you know, get people to understand him here. So because he was sort of responsible for getting him to step into that war room there, which led to all those things happening and unfolding. So I really did like the parallels between, you know, Zuko and Aang this episode, even them sort of pairing up eyes with one another. And I think, you know, maybe connecting back to the Great Divide here is that we can maybe learn to understand each other a little bit more. And I think we really got to do that here, not for just Zuko, like I said, but also for Aang here. We understand that he is the Avatar. He's some of, I guess, the darker themes to the show is that, like, he's been gone for 100 years while the Fire Nation has just reigned terror over, you know, the rest of the factions. I think they did a great job at communicating that this episode. In his perspective, he was going through a lot. He just got, you know, sometimes in life you're thrusted into new situations. You're not really too sure how to deal with it. You know, especially when you're younger, some people have to grow up faster than others. And for this situation, he's the Avatar, and he just got thrusted into his life, and it makes a lot of sense as to why he wants to, you know, still play games all the time, go to the water and swim with the big fish, have fun. He's still a kid who got this destiny thrust upon him. I really like the way that they showed, like, yeah, like, I just going through a lot, I didn't know how to deal with it, and he leaves, and that tied in right to the end, to the beginning of the series, once he comes out of the ice with Katara and Sokka. So I think they did a great job at just forwarding both of their stories here, giving us way more context, I think, to both Aang and Zuko, and sort of putting their stories, intertwining their stories here. So also, I mean, it's always been a thought of my mind. It's like I said in the beginning of this episode, is like, dude, if I'm the crew members, I'm gonna be hella cheesed. But I think that they did a good job at, you know, even at the end, letting him decide. He had a great opportunity to go stop Aang, but instead he decided to put his crew members first. I guess got reminded of his roots, because those backstories were pretty. His dad, the Fire Lord, definitely destroyed him, obviously tying into how he got the scar now. Yeah, I think there is more to his character, and obviously this is only season 1, so I'm glad that they gave us that chunk of information now, so I can feel a little bit for him, understand his fixation for deeming himself slightly, but also why he wants to stop Aang. So I think if anything, the Great Divide can show us, connecting to the Storm, is that, you know, maybe they can see almost, you know how they're looking at each other, maybe they can see eye to eye, even though Aang was flying away. But anyway, guys, that was my reaction video to Avatar: The Last Airbender Season 1 Episode 11 and Season 1 Episode 12. Didn't like the Great Divide all too much, but I did really enjoy what they did here with the storm. I think even the execution, starting off with, you know, Aang having all this anxiety, all these nightmares, and then by the end of it, him being alleviated, him coming to terms with what happened after putting his past to bed and learning from it and moving forward now and helping people when he can. I really like what they did there with the storm. But guys, that was Avatar: The Last Airbender. And of course, links in the description down below for all the goodies. But with that being said, y'all, I will catch you in the next one. Peace.